Welcome to the Redline Report, powered by HireMaster. I'm Catie Wood, and today we're focusing on Q3 reports, tonnage statistics, U.S.D.O.T grants, and more. Let's go. Universal Logistics Holdings Incorporated, a leading asset-light provider of customized transportation and logistics solutions, disclosed record-breaking Q3 results. As reported by the company late last week, a total operating net income of $48.5 million was secured over a period of 3 months, which ended on October 1st. According to previous reports, the company gained a profit of $10.3 million during the same period last year. Universal Logistics Holdings CEO Tim Phillips acknowledged the results, which surpassed expectations, and said, quote, "We continue to keep the pulse of the economy close as we are transitioning into the last quarter of the year with particular attention on our transportation portfolio," Phillips said. "Spot market rates have slid rapidly over the course of the last 6 months and will put pressure on upcoming customer contract negotiations," end quote. The total operating income earned increased from $445.6 million to $505.7 million, equivalent to a 13.5% revenue increase. Last week, 3 terminals at the Port of Oakland were shut down as a result of workers protesting outstanding wage issues. A spokesperson, Marilyn Sandifer, said Oakland International Container Terminal, Everport, and TreyPac shut down operations after an unexpected labor action. Union workers walked off the job in protest over a local contact dispute. Although the terminals have resumed operations, unexpected terminal closures often have major effects on operations. In response to the incident, the Pacific Maritime Association released a statement and said, quote, "Taking an action to shut down the port impacts workers and businesses far beyond the terminals themselves. Discussions with Local 34 took place today. This apparent attempt to try to exact leverage in local negotiations is counterproductive," end quote. Union representatives have not released a response to the statement. In the news this week, the U.S. Department of Transportation has granted additional funding for port improvement projects. U.S.D.O.T has pledged more than $700 million to almost 50 ports in the U.S. The funds were previously approved under the $1 trillion infrastructure law, which was signed into effect by the Biden administration in an effort to better assign freight movement and improve the supply chain. Approved funds are intended to improve coastal seaports, Great Lakes ports, and inland river ports. In addition to U.S. ports receiving awards for their improvement projects, the Maritime Administration awarded almost $39 million in grants to 12 different highway projects. Grant recipients include the Puerto Rico Maritime Transportation Service Project, the New York Harbor Container and Trailer on Barge Service, and lastly, the Guam Maritime Transportation Enhancement Initiative. President Biden has continued to highlight benefits from the $1 trillion infrastructure law and said, quote, "If you can't get the material needed to build a product you're building, whether it's an automobile or whatever it is, it makes it difficult to be able to move, and that's called the supply chain. That's why I've been focused on ports," end quote. Also in the news, Too Simple, a self-driving trucking company, has terminated U.S.D.O.T from his position as CEO, President, and Chief Technology Officer. The company parted ways with Ho as of October 30th due to an ongoing investigation led by the FBI. Government authorities are investigating whether the U.S. self-driving trucking company defrauded investors by financing and transferring technology to Hydron, a Chinese startup. The San Diego-based Too Simple has installed Ersin Umer as interim CEO in an effort to keep operations running smoothly. In a statement recently released, Umer said, quote, "I look forward to working with the board and the talented Too Simple team to continue to move the company forward. The leadership team firmly believes in the benefit of our technology and is committed to the company's commercialization roadmap," end quote. National Stress Awareness Day was November 2nd, and in honor of that, the HireMaster tip of the week is about mental health. The next few months are going to be a stressful time with holidays, deadlines, family traditions, and so much more. Mental burnout happens when the mind is preoccupied with many different aspects of life, which make it difficult to sort through the clutter. Here are some tips that will help avoid burnout. First, recognize when you're feeling exhausted. Ask yourself, are you struggling to focus? Have sleep patterns changed? Are you unmotivated? If the answers to these are yes, this may indicate mental burnout. Second, depend on those around you and communicate what you're struggling with. Go to the people closest to you, whether this is friends, family, or even coworkers, to help relieve some of the stress you are experiencing. Lastly, take time for yourself doing something you enjoy. Give your brain a break to reset. This can be a hobby, a walk, spending time with others, but whatever it is you choose to do, make it something that brings you joy. Mental burnout is challenging, but you can avoid or overcome burnout by listening to your body and prioritizing yourself. And that's all for this week's Redline Report. I'm Catie Wood. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch each episode and leave us a like and a comment. We'll see you next time on the Redline Report, powered by HireMaster.